Hello and welcome to the Frank H. Nutter Class of 2021 Capstone Scholars Day. My name is Ronnie Patel and I welcome you to my poster. I'll share it with you here. It is titled The Dory Method, an Innovative and Dynamic Approach to Restoration After Trauma. This project was rooted in the Dory Method, which is a program of integrative study that works with survivors of trauma, and in our study specifically, survivors of violent crime, sex, and/or labor trafficking. The Dory Method is a one-year program of study which is composed of 9 different in-field tested methodologies with the ultimate goal of building adaptability, self-efficacy, emotional and physical well-being, among much more for our cohort. The Dory Method is also centered around achieving financial and trafficked independence, which in our case included support for education, vocational training, healthcare costs, and safe shelter for our participants and their children. This approach to restoration for our cohort was quantified using the EQI psychometric measure, which gave us and the participants insight on the emotional and social functioning composite skills of self-perception, self-expression, interpersonal skills, decision-making, and stress management. The series of questions that the EQI has shown to illustrate an individual's self-regard, assertiveness, problem-solving ability, optimism, and happiness, which were the main focus of our study. Our study began initially with a group of 11 female individuals in the city of Bamenda, Cameroon. They ranged in age from 15 all the way to 29, and all had experienced severe emotional and/or physical trauma as survivors of labor, sex, and sex trafficking. Northern Cameroon also at the time was in a civil war, which began in September of 2017, which created the additional barrier of working with a cohort in the setting of civil unrest. Our group of survivors were given the EQI psychometric measure pre, mid, and post-intervention with the Dory method. The mid would be at 6 months. The subject pool met once per month for about 2 to 3 hours at a safe off-site location where they could complete the Dory method curriculum with our trained liaison. The 9 methodologies that are encompassed in the Dory method include first, your belief system, and this really focuses on change and transition from where they are at the beginning to where they want to see themselves at the end of the Dory method. There's creative problem solving, which gives the cohort the ability to do just that, creatively problem solve. And there's the thinking skills model, and that was developed by Pusio, Mance, and Murdoch, and aids in the creating of one's vision for their future, leading to identifying a purpose in life and helping them feel more confident. There's also the leadership challenge, which teaches 5 different leadership practices, which again help build confidence and help them process the understanding and importance of self-perception. There's the EQI, which is the quantitative measure that we discussed earlier. There's Foresight, which is a thinking profile also developed by Pusio, which teaches them how to embrace and utilize their specific creative preference styles. There's a Savvy approach, which helps individuals retain and understand information faster and with greater proficiency. And then there's the chain of defense, and this is our physical component, which teaches physical self-defense skills and de-escalation strategies to our cohort members through use of Krav Maga. And then lastly is servant leadership. And this is a methodology really where spiritual well-being takes place. It allows them to connect within themselves and also allows them to become leaders in their community. In total, 1 of our cohort members was displaced due to civil unrest, but the 10 that remained throughout the 12 months of the program showed tremendous growth. All 10 women were freed of their traffickers, 2 were able to continue their education, and another was able to complete vocational training, which allowed her financial independence from her trafficker. Numerous women were also able to receive the health care that they needed to regain their freedom and build their physical and emotional health. The Dory method began in March of 2019 and concluded in March of 2020. Throughout the 12 months, the combined overall emotional intelligence, as quantified by the EQI, increased by an average of 18.6 points. Additionally, our study looked at the EQI happiness indicator, which also increased by an average of 19 points. Average self-regard, problem-solving, optimism, and assertiveness also increased from the beginning to the end of the 12 months of the Dory method. From this, It's clear that the Dory method provides a novel approach to the treatment and restoration of trauma survivors that is yet to be explored in the medical arena. With education on the Dory method and its implications in the management of trauma survivors, physicians of the future can gain great practical insight and expertise, which will enhance the quality of care for their patients. In consideration of our preliminary findings, this project was asked to be presented at the National BN-GAP conference in January of 2020. I would like to thank everyone who has helped me along this process, especially my mentor, Ms. Kathy Sue Dory, the creator of the Dory method, Ms. Seraphine Fanwy, who is our boots on the ground in Bemenda, and Dr. McLeod, who served as a great sounding board throughout this entire process. Please feel free to contact me with any questions, and I hope you enjoyed my poster. Thank you.